So at first when I came to Home Life, I did not like it. I'm just going to tell honestly, I hated it. I only hated it because I hated the fact that it was a shelter. And so I was like, you know, I'm just going to be here for the moment and that's it. I really didn't want to open up to tell no one what was my situation, my living situation. And when I got assigned to Ms. Royster, who was my case manager, I gave her so much trouble. I didn't want to tell her about my finances. I did not want to tell her nothing. So she didn't give up on me. She kept pushing me. And so because her push and her not giving up as me being her caseworker, so I didn't feel that judgment. And so because I didn't feel that judgment with her, I opened up to everybody else. When I was a kid, I moved consistently. I went to like 3 different elementary schools. I went to like 2 different middle schools. I went to 1 high school. So I realized that I did not want my daughter to go through that same repeated cycle that I went to. But I always, it be times where I felt like I failed her as a mom because I wasn't able to, you know, provide for her financially. And so now I think that she became more happier with being in her own and being able to have her own room. She just something that I love so much. Like my daughter sometimes encourage me. So my goal is to own my own house. My goal is to own my own house so that when I leave this earth, I have something to leave for my daughter. And I am on my way to moving into my own place 2 years later. And so it's a big eye opener for me, but I'm still shocked at how I progressed from being at the Home Life Management on side 1 to being on a Home Life Management in side 2 to now going into my own, which is reality of actually living and have to pay, you know, regular rent. I would cry to Ms. Wilson and I say, you know, I'm scared, I don't think I can do it. And then she encouraged me, she said, look how far you come, you know, you can do this. And then I end up, you know, being happy and excited. So I'm excited now. So I thank the YWCA for all of their encouragement and their help with helping me get to that point of maturity and growing into the place that I am today.
This is the program that I wish I had when I was a young lady. I mean, I don't think I came from a devastating background either. We were not well off. At the same time, I made good grades and different things like that. What I didn't have was someone who would come to the workshops talking to me about relationships and self-awareness, having self-esteem and taking personal pride in who you are, and, you know, the realities of what it means to navigate this life as a woman. Those are the things that I wish I had had when I was a young person. We got more like science and math. We didn't get anything like what's in the YW Girl program. I feel like for young ladies, those are the lessons we need. You really can't be effective against anything that you don't know is out there, that you're going to face when you get out of there, unless you are exposed to it. And this program does expose girls to those kinds of challenges. Those are the things that I think I would appreciate it. I would have appreciated if I had this program as a young person.
I talked to a woman about what happened. I spent a week upset, confused, and very angry. She told me I was assaulted. It was like confirmation that I needed. They walked me through everything to the point of going to court. Literally walked me to the court into my trial or the hearing and everything, and you know, his arrest. I felt heard. I felt taken serious. I had the counseling, I had people to talk to, I had a support group, I had information, I had so many things that helped me along the way. The whole big thing was not letting this take anything away from me. And I didn't have to do that alone. I didn't have to figure it out by myself.
People are inherently good. They mean good. However, either their circumstances or their ignorance of the facts make them biased or prejudiced about something. Recently, there were a couple of cars that were, there was graffiti with some profanity written on them in African American neighborhoods in Wilmington. And Alert took it upon them to go there and clean those cars. It's just that type of work. It's not a big deal, but members came together, they went in and they cleaned it up, and the community was very supportive of that, and they were very thankful for Alert to come in and help.
There are people who are similar, who have all similar notions, who have this newfound power that we can do something and we can help. And I think it's liberating. Even if it's a ripple in the ocean, I'm making a difference.
Because the day that it went through, there were no more shocked faces in that room than all the people sitting around my table. I kind of was more confident and not surprised when I went in. They were, "You're not going to believe this." And I said, "What? You got it. They gave it to you. They did it." I mean, they were so celebratory that you would think it was them who got the mortgage and not me. That they were that surprised and happy. A charity that so affected a person's spirit, because you don't know what it's like not to have a home until you don't have one. And for you to give that gift to somebody, you have lifted up their spirits, their love, their family, their hopes, their dreams. And if you have that financial ability to change someone's life, why not do it?
The WINE program, Women Achieving New Directions, their feedback and their advice was just inspirational, motivational, and invaluable. I received much more than what I was looking for. I got not just information, but hands-on experience and exposure to those types of programs that I could implement right away. The main thing that I learned from the program is how to pivot. And I have incorporated that a little bit more into my personal life as well. Like, life happens, you know, how do you deal with that, and how do you change? How do you turn? I learned information that I was able to implement right away. I'm using the web-based information that I received. I'm utilizing my business coach. They were always available, and they are still available. Like, I keep coming back because I'm like, oh, I need to ask another question. I need some advice about this, and the door is always open. And I think it's a much needed resource in our community, and I haven't found it anywhere else.
What our YWCA team is able to do is they take their professional training, they take their wealth of experience on the ground working with people, and that is overlapped with a very emotional and real connection to our mission to eliminate racism and empower women. And when you put all those things together, you end up with a team who has an open ear, a non-judgmental attitude, and the ability to help a client identify what the barriers are to their ability to move forward and achieve what they want, and also be able to map out a plan for how to get there, but do that knowing that someone has their back every step of the way.